Hey guys, I thought it might be helpful to give you some advice on playing out for the first time if you've never done it before. I think the toughest way would be join a band and learn 40 songs that you have to memorize and play those things. That can be really tough. That's a hard way to start. If you're a guitar player, you can kind of piece those steel guitars in now and then, songs on steel guitar. But if you're not, and you're just going to be a pedal steel player, um, that's the hardest way to do it. The easiest way, I think, at least here, I'm in Cincinnati right now. I'm in Florida in the winter. In Cincinnati, they have tons of open mics. There's anywhere from 4 to 8 open mics every night. And I play a lot of those. I have fun at them, but I do them a little different than the way you would. But um, I think you would just get with a friend who plays guitar and sings, and then get there and set up your steel guitar early. Probably get there like an hour early. They usually start at 7 and go to 10. And there's a little sign-up sheet, and everybody signs up who's going to play that night. And they, based on how many people show up, that's how many songs you get. But you can just do 2 songs if you want. So you learn 2 songs with a guitar player. Get there early enough to tune up and get set up somewhere on that stage. And I usually don't sign up. I wouldn't sign up to be the first people, but like sign up like the third or something like that. Third sign up person to get up, and then get up with your buddy and then do the songs, the 2 songs that you have practiced, and then move your stuff off to the side because somebody else is going to come up. Usually they're not real, everybody's kind of new that does these open mics, or a lot of people are. So they haven't even tuned up, who knows. So they'll monkey around with the microphone and get their guitar plugged in. You'll have enough time to get your amp and your steel guitar off the stage and then disassemble it out there. So then you could go to another one the next week and do 2 different songs, and maybe another one the next week, 2 different songs, and then start repeating the songs again just so you get used to them. But pretty soon, before you know it, you're going to get comfortable playing in front of people, and you'll have 10 or 15 songs that you can play pretty good out in front of folks and feel confident. And then you can start thinking about joining a band and expanding on that a little bit. The other thing I'd mention is when you get there, if you're on a stage and if you've never played on a stage in a band before, the worst place to be is next to a drummer. Like if he's right here crashing that cymbal in your head and his snare drum smacking that thing, that's pretty tough. I try to get away from the drummer if I can. And I got a crude picture here, but if this is the stage right here, I want to be on the right side of the stage. And there's a reason for that. And then I want the guitar player next to me, and then the drummer and a singer in front of him, and then the bass player over here. If you set your steel guitar up and you got the bass player right next to you, it's real muddy kind of. It makes it hard to stay in tune sometimes. That bass amp right next to your steel guitar amp can be a problem. So I like the guitar player. Plus I like to communicate with them. And when you're sitting at a steel guitar, generally speaking, you're sitting like this, and especially a person like me that has a certain amount of arthritis in their neck, it's a lot easier for me to look this way and communicate kind of peripherally out of my vision with that guitar player than it is to turn around like this and see what the heck's going on. And if I'm over on this side of the stage and the guitar player's over here, I'm trying to look through a singer and maybe a bass player and try to see what he's trying to convey to me. Am I supposed to be, so I like this setup right here. If you can get there early, I always jump on that, I would call it the right side of the stage when I get there. And then always ask the guitar player, because I sit in with a lot of different bands, so I don't really practice with them. I just kind of show up and do the best I can. So there's a lot of communication needed between me and the guitar player. And it's always good to have him right here on my side, and so I can communicate with him a little bit. Maybe occasionally I'll ask him what key they're in. I try to look at his hands on the guitar. That's another thing. If he's right here, I can see what key they're in because I can tell by what chords he's playing. If he's way over there, I can't see his hands. I can't tell anything from the bass player. So I like to be close to the guitar player, have him right here. Let's see, another thing might be, you want to stay in tune, so I put just this little clip, like that thing right there. It's a little clip on my strobe tuner, and I connect it right there to the leg of the steel guitar. And I don't leave it plugged in all the time. I think it affects the tone, I don't know. But if I need to tune up, just need to unplug, put this in, and then I tune up, and then I put this back. And this little thing on the end of this, if you can see that or not, but it's just a volume control. And I like doing volume because I like having a volume here, besides being on my amp, so I can adjust my volume on stage. Just so I won't turn this all the way up. I'll turn it like 3/4 of the way up. Then if I need more volume, I can turn it up here. I don't have to get up and go back to my amplifier and mess with that. The other thing that's nice to have is, is a, I'll put this in, get this out of here, is a iPad. So an iPad with guitar tabs on it. So if they pick up a song, I put a whole bunch of songs in here. And so what I end up doing is, probably should have loaded this thing beforehand, but it doesn't really matter. Just put guitar tabs on there and load a whole bunch of songs on it that you think you're going to play. And that way when somebody's singing, you just bring that song up as quick as you can. If you're just sitting in, you're probably not going to kick the thing off anyway. So see what key they're in, hit that thing. Like if you're going to do a crazy song like, I don't know, Hotel California or something. It's got a lot of chords and you don't know the song that well. You can kind of be watching them here on your iPad. I just have a little holder I get on Amazon. You can get all kinds of holders for these iPads. And then just face it right here. I use that thing all the time. So I'm kind of addicted to it. But I just basically look at the top. It shows you the chords that are in the song. So it'll say there's like 4 chords. 1, 4, 5, and the 6 minor or something. So I'll see those and then I can kind of hear them, but it helps me to know what chords are in the song at least. So that's nice. The other thing I think is convenient, because you get somewhere and then chords are everywhere and everything's everywhere. And you're not going to know what you're going to plug your stuff from here into a PA system probably. And you're going to have a cord for that, a cord for everything. I always have a roll of pink tape. And, just pick your own color. I just picked pink because there's not a lot of pink out there. But I put pink on everything. I mean, it's on the back of this thing. It's on the back of this iPad. It's on every cord. It's on everything I have has pink tape on it. So it's when you go to tear down, you're not trying to figure out whose black cord this is. It's about impossible to figure that stuff out. So hopefully that little bit of advice helps you. Get started at least. These open mics are great things. Those are mostly open mics in Ohio. Down in Florida, they have a bunch of jam sessions where a whole bunch of people get together and they're kind of in usually a U shape, not always, but usually do them in church and community centers. Might even be like a circle, and then you go around and everybody does a song. And then just like they just keep going around until you're 2.5 or 3 hours or however long this jam session is up. And then it comes around to you, it's your turn, you do something. You don't have to play on every song, you just have to play something on your own. At those, I usually play guitar and sing something when it's my turn, because not everybody knows any instrumentals. They can fall apart pretty easily if nobody knows the chord. Even steel guitar rag, it's got a couple off chords and people get confused, and it makes it tough to play. And it'll speed up and slow down because of the it's just the way people would do it. But when somebody else is singing and it's their turn, you can kind of play steel behind that, and based on your ability, you might play a lead, you might not. You might just do fills behind or play chords and just get comfortable. There's a lot of open jam sessions like that around. I think there's one here in Cincinnati too, at a park. I take my dobro there, but anyway, there's a lot of that stuff. So those are the kind of things I would do to get started until you get a little more proficient, a little more comfortable playing in front of people, and you build up a little repertoire of, more than a couple of songs that you've learned. You'll have 15 or 20 songs that you've played in front of people with others, and then you can join a band and not embarrass yourself too bad. I hope that advice helps.